Zamling Kansar Chupe Pöki Ke Yige Rikshung Dang Nambe Chula Tonanange Tsangmala Jagar Dorjing Nengatu Tele Shugiyo Ta Di Nye Sai Nimala Tiwa Di Tangbayi Did I tell you? What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? Tati injigi chokne shuwe ina tati that mangshire basic grammar from English point of view. Ti that mangshire ta nye de tiwatangbe kabla pebatsu they don't participate at all. That chickena Kusendi Ingrid. Nanzo Pube Chizog in Nangla, Gelsi Chick Labia Tapshe Chebe Yina, Ani Shandatsu Kangbatia Kabushita Yoruba, Ani Chale Gabia Kabushita Yoruba, Chale Gabia Kangbatenia. Non-true dates Tombadam Lamsa Kona Kangbatia Chele Gebiaki Luxel Dukja di Yobala Tene Pebato Tiwalelabu Dindelayam Lenkeniaki Tapshe Nangimindo. Like the sense of the Shendagi Chale Gabiri Samche Sergi Yukiri, Shigi Yukiri. Tina Yakashi Puji Takashingi Yumare, Kilsi Takashingi Manan Kaya Yomar Tatu Reganzo de Tatu Kerang Kaya da Kadimbo K da K Timashina Yang Kadimbo K Tine Tatu di Deshe Debiala this Chena Yang Digre Tine Mangchua de Puyi font Peche Shingi Yugi Mare Ani that you can cash a latene Tatu Lelabu Tindela Yang Len Gavia Tapshe Nangimindo Dire Ta Dirta Did I tell you? Not Nindre Misela. Did I tell you about it? Did I pay the rent? Dinde Mongol Guruba. The Pantobashita is very useful. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you about it? Didn't I pay the rent? Dinde Mongol Guruba. That the Ani that the Delsia Gabe Kabla Dinangla Perke Sigendi Gutsendan Dembe Tatu. Very logical grammar. Gutsendan Dembe Tatu. Misibe Ke Yapore, Mamang, Lotu Chik, and the Centric Party, Korangi. Ke the country survey in a Pemisibe Tingsabo, Selbo. Didn't country survey, Centric Party and Haligur. The Kusendi Hagoba Yina, Hagogoy, Hale Goyagi, Kusendi Yang Tungire. Dire. Ta Ke Yakbu Shibuji or Gutsendan Demba. Gutsendan Dembe gets Gere. Taman Mange Chigil Gilupu Sola Labe Kabla Ani Napangi Nangla Kangla Situ Tibadan Lamsang Lotu Yusegi Lapacane. chigi chela chigi tiwa tangje pemisikale khabo sugre perna tan moma yang nge thingji shiwe yin perna I am watching television, I am listening to the radio. Tu kharechene labore. I am watching tu kharechene labne tiki mare. Tindesine chige ke lotu ba chue amcho tongdong chene suba khardu. Dirty answer ki thokne amcho tongdong chene. I perna Quranso inji ke changi yobala chasha. Ani tang nge dinda labina. I am listening to the radio labna. Kunsu me labaya kyangje. Dela tu kharechene labore. Kuchan kharere. Sin tiwatangre. I am watching television. There are two kharechene laguyo mare. Tiwatangre. Kuchan ha gobe tokne pyoge changi yore. Chigel watso. Ta pyobatso shalchokpa mixelgi pyobatso dila karechene dinde labore karechene I am listening to karechene labore gyuchem hago ya tapshi chigi yomare I am watching television dila tu karechene labi yomare di hago ya tapshi yang chigi yomare chikchene gyuchem yore gyuchen yuna 아니 규천데 하고야 탑시에 채우러 봐. 다 딘더래. 다 콘저 나라 티와 땅땅 얘기 안에 녀로 니슈 섭시. 벽에라 냠십 체제 녀 텝숨 티바이. 펠게기 텝숨 단다 파도 수직이 tin용 매켄 벽에기 다트 나란스께 승격 제약의 체도 매년 공필 용약의 체도 예 텝숨 디바이 단다양 디단 디신바이 아니 미치게다 텝기 톨 디샤베이나 아니 마음발라 미치가 나 벽에 정도였으나 텝지 녀제 아니 나오니나 가르라고래 견직이나 가르라고래 자직 뒤대바이나 가르라고래 참마 장초조인 걸 봐. 네 티샤비. 당예대 제재직 샤요 승부도 가란서 지속이 나라 벽에 숨겨 제약이 뎁 쇼글레 직동 여바 숨겨 아니 십자 제재 뎁 쇼글레 직동 여베 뎁숨 TV 냠십 체제 당에 냠십 칸데체도 칸즈 되게 대세격도 아니 칸즈 신의 킹그레 티 칸데스 냠십 체도 냠십 빼면서 띵사보 냠십 체제 아니 게 탭디 로 니슈 잡시 고성 판다양 티당 티신바이 like very very logical language. You don't need to memorize anything. You should have logical approach. And if it is logical language, when learning the language, it will give you lots and lots of mental exercise. And I truly believe that it is good for one's brain. So that industry. Ngomang nganso di Darjeeling la Gorkhaland agitation ki kapla tade nima shipchu stinde legul samchok chigi yore strike nima shipchu legul samchok chigi yore yangne yangdo nima shipchu legul samchok che sabe chere yangar nima chu lekul samcho ya nimang nge lekul samcho tides che ne ta ngancho tharkang ki kap lai ta chowai ke liya kale khakpo cha che phayu le chimbe phayu la to ti chamba ta din room ta din de laga da chego mendo samche din pa mixel ki chashi khaya mebe tok ne tin phayu le chimbe phayu la to ti ta gelsi khana so moma darjeeling la lokchong nangyong yona Golden Norbu Kingri Kanache Golden Norbu Wisconsin University Pajula Yobe Wisconsin University la Pyoge la Baresa Ani Korangi da Legati Shache Korangi Chabla Palden Dukjor Tanda Taposonam Nobugi Chumbore Taposonam Nobu Chumbo Koran Page Wisconsin University la Pyoge Laptan Lap Shimbaresha Koran Gotsuk Tsara Zeresha Dine Koran Laptane Tu Loyong Na Koran Gignamtu Nimachus Koran Yamtu Devayi Ani Korangi Chige Watsu Di Yakpo Duk Sinu Konsu Di Duk Di Teshe Gebda Teshe Gebya Tapshi Cheda Nade Teshe Geya Pekange Tegudus Cheche Kora Dida Sumdido Tingarangi Yamtu Deje Duk Dan Yorgi Parla Kebal Kari Yore Duk Sana Karire Tingarang Kari Na Samsang Robuchi Ani Habo Dio Chibuchung I had great curiosity to know how to explain the auxiliary Duk Yore. I had great desire to know the explanation. Re Kadu Labore Re Tang Duk La Kebal Karidu Narangi Samro Mambutang Che Delche Gibia Tabshe Chebayin Tindas Tanganzo de Nye Tanda Tragetola Pubatola Did I tell you Pugela Kandis Labore Did Lab Goyagi Kutsen Karina Samsamiya Junguminduga The Chigne Tangaranzo Chizo di Tange Dux Tevina Naranzo Chizo Miti Gila Nyembo Insare Tapana Yikseki Tute Yakol Lebar Show Siriova, not catching me Tute Yapo Yomar Song Yapo Yomar Shocks in it. Sama show Tenga Sigiorba Dicheva Samtu Mase Ani Legatic Cheva Ina Tute Yapo Yongi Yinda Me Soso Rangi Namche Peche Cheya Gitabla Ani Moja Gatugiore. They go for divination. Instead of using their own brain, Kusenjibati teacher. Ani Lumden Bugiore, wait for predictions. Sosorangi Namche Peche Chene. Sosorangi Namche Peche Chene. Ta che Google, di Yapore, di Tucare, mi, di Tucare Lagudu, Tesonza, Tenden di Tucare, Sangu Yomare. You should be independent thinker. Ani, Talu Tuso Imbaina, Sosorangi, Samlo Peche Chene, Gigenla. I am listening to Katin Laborgala, Ditese Kyondasine, Tadaportu Fuvechis on the Chunyo Yogi Mare. The Tama Gigan like Nyagapte, relying completely on the teachers. Sosorangi, Namcho Pesuchene. Gegengi, all the I'm listening to the radio to labore dire mixelton kuchen yo mare kena login chesana las login che. Dinde chene ta lojung chebre. Chede ta thanda pyi ki tetik lo ne tenta kecha ngapchu ha bugudu sige mi pe kombore. Pe misi kombore. 나랑 양 던데 기겐 쳬베 몰라 프이기 데블로드서네 고츠야 깔려 카포 시부스도 다치다 먼저 벼바츠 팁직 팁에 qabla 치 깔려 카포 상마 페이지 제제 아니 틱디 abbreviation 망보 페이지 제네 팁에 qabla 미타가 마가기 고츠야 자와 니네 마레 Tindes ani pöver çizol nanglas pakça duça esti. 정말 가지 잽시간 뒤 하고야 빼갈래 갖고 요다 삼상으로 비지 세면놈나 파차 대버봐. 당에 냠십 칸데스 체도 크람조 시야. 네 벽에라 냠십 칸데스 체도 Look, Chigi could look to like the just love or it was in Chedi like you said, your mare sena sawa nine to mare. Tindas Kerang Nimasum Chabin to do Tomba Chagri, Tuma Yonga Sam Chagri. Consul like you send here Gugios. That this year, did I tell you, Ruba? Kalsa subject, the doer. Nga sa nye sa showing the doer, the subject. Nye you indirect object. Ka yata kya tingbo ke da ke rang rang ke rang. La should be there because this word you is indirect object. So did I tell it to you? To. Nye kerang la. Did I tell you? To tell, to say. Love. It is past tense. Love. Some past tense. Nasa question mark or equivalent to question mark. Nye kerang la love song Nye kerang la love song Now, I'm sure many of the students are shocked to see the auxiliary song for first person. But I will explain you the reason. It's very, very, very logical. Now, what did I tell you? Subject, nga, sa, nge, adjective, or showing the subject who is doing it. Nge, ke, ram, la must be there because the word you is indirect object here. So, nye kerang la technically by me to you. What? Kare. Nye kerang la kare love song. Now there is no question mark or the word which is equivalent to question mark. Here we don't see the word which works as question mark. And then, didn't I tell you? Subject. By me. Nye. Ke. Rang. La. Love. Negative. Didn't I? Ma. Song. And then question mark. Yeah. Any Tibetan can say this, but not all can explain the grammar. So now here, Nye Kerang La suffix showing that I is the subject here. La shows that Kerang is the indirect object. Indirect object, La Song Nge. Nga Sang Nge works as question mark. Nye Kerang La Kare love song. Why isn't the word which is equivalent to question mark is not there? Nye kerang la love ma song nye. Now Tibetan is, in my opinion, I can be wrong. In my opinion, Tibetan is the most logical language. Most logical language. How is it logical? So, when you ask someone a question, is always second person, right? When you ask second person a question, you should make the sentence easy for the listener to answer. This is the core grammar of Tibetan language. Every time you say something, you should put the question in such a way that the listener will find it easy to answer. Now, did I tell you about it? Did I tell you about it? And for the listener, this I, the word I, is third person. So his answer would be, yes, you told me. Then third person past tense. Kerangi ngala love song. Because the listener will be using the auxiliary song, therefore the person asking the question must use the auxiliary the listener will be using. So here, Nye kerang la lap song nge. Did I tell you about it? Why do you say song? Because the listener will use third person auxiliary past tense. Kerangi, Nala, love song. This is the logic. Ask any kind of question to second person and use the auxiliary second person will be using. So in a way you are helping the listener make correct sentence. You are using the correct auxiliary in favor of the listener. So, nge kerang la lap song nge. And then, nge kerang la kare lap song. What did I tell you? Kerang la, showing that this is the indirect object. La kare lap song. Now, why there is no pasa pe or nasa nge? Why isn't there the word which works as question mark in this sentence? Because in Asian language, in Nepali, in Hindi, in most of the Asian languages, if there is interrogative word in a sentence, question mark is not required. It automatically becomes a question. Nge kerang la kare love song. Why there is no ngasangye? Because we have interrogative word. If you speak Japanese or Nepali or Hindi, think in your own language. And then, didn't I tell you? Nge kerang sa, showing the subject, la showing the indirect object, to you. La masonge, didn't I tell you? It's a very logical language. When you ask someone a question, use the auxiliary. The second person will be using. So, nge kerang la love song. Yes, you did love song. What did I tell you? You told me not to come. Mayong love song. Didn't I tell you? Lap masonge. So you can summarize. This is the core grammar of Tibetan language. When you ask someone, use the auxiliary in favor of the listener. Did I make it clear? So, did I tell you, Nge kerang la love song? It's very useful. You must have learned I said, I bought, I stayed, first person, past tense. But here, did I, this I for the listener is third person using the word I. I'm sure you understood it. If you didn't, listen to it again. This is the most important grammar What did I tell you? Nye kerang la kare lap song. Nye kerang la lap ma song e. Nye kerang la lap song e. Nye kerang la lap song e. Nye kerang la kare lap song. Nye kerang la kare lap song. Nye kerang la lap ma song e. So why is song used here? The word I stands for some third person. Okay. So, when I teach Westerners, they come up with lots and lots of questions. And when you teach Easterners, especially Tibetan, they have 100% trust with the teacher. Whatever teacher say is 100% right. And then we memorize. And then we rely completely on the teacher to come up with an explanation or to explain it. And we tend not to use our own brain. So here, most of the students watching this video clip knows, are you Tibetan? Is she Tibetan? Is he Tibetan? All of us have learned to say these sentences correctly. But we haven't asked for the logical explanation. Okay, here. Are you Tibetan? Is she Tibetan? Is he Tibetan? Now, if the Western students have to learn English, then their question will be, are you Tibetan? So they will raise their hand. Are is pluralizer. Are they Tibetan? But are you is singular. Why do you use are for singular? They would come up with such questions. But we, especially Tibetan community, in these 70 years, not even one student, I'm sure not even one student have asked this question to the teacher. Are is plural, used for are they, are these school, But then why are you saying, are you Tibetan? When this you is just one person. So this is the way Westerners think. And in Tibetan, it's very, very, very logical, and everything can be explained. So we have to think like Westerners. You should not rely on your teacher. You have to think. You have to logically think and come up with an answer. 그렇게 규칙된 바 logical. 뺏어 보여요. 장이야지 고투나 특히 대단데 you can build up on the same rule. And as the sentences become bigger or compound sentences, the easier it gets. Basic grammar may appear somewhat difficult, but as you proceed, you will find it easier and easier. It's not just to encourage you to learn Tibetan, it's the truth. So that way I did research. Why do you say song for first person? And I gave logic behind it, the logical reason why it should be said this way or that way. So I have written 3 books. All the sentences are interwoven, reminding you of the grammar taught earlier and again adding some new grammar in that same rule. And if you are interested in buying the book, let me know. And with this, I will have to stop my lesson here. I hope you gained from this class, and thank you very much for coming to the class. And if you have some friends or relatives who wants to learn Tibetan, please share it. Not so that I get more viewers, so that others can get the explanation, logical explanations. Thank you for coming to the class.